Mars sighed. 200 Romans and not one's got a pen? Never mind. He slung his M16 onto his back and pulled out a hand grenade. There were many screaming Romans. Then the grenade morphed into a ballpoint pen, and Mars began to write. Frank looked at Percy with wide eyes. He mouthed, "Can your sword do grenade form?" Percy mouthed back, "No, shut up." There! Mars finished writing and threw the scroll at Octavian. A prophecy! You can add it to your books, engrave it on the floor, whatever. Octavian read the scroll. This says, go to Alaska, find Thanatos and free him, come back down by sundown on June 24th or die. Yes, Mars said. Is that not clear? Well, my lord, usually prophecies are unclear. They are wrapped in riddles. They rhyme and... Mars casually propped another grenade off his belt. Yes? The prophecy is clear, Octavian announced. A quest. Good answer. Mars tapped the grenade on his chin. Now, what else? There was something else. Oh, yes. He turned to Frank. Come here, kid. No, Frank thought. The burned stick in his coat pocket felt heavier. His legs turned wobbly. A sense of dread settled over him, worse than the day the military officer had come to the door. He knew what was coming, but he couldn't stop it. He stepped forward against his will. Mars grinned. Nice job taking the wall, kid. Who's the ref for this game? Raina raised her hand. You see that play, ref? Mars demanded. That was my kid. First over the wall, won the game for his team. Unless you're blind, that was an MVP play. You're not blind, are you? Raina looked like she was trying to swallow a mouse. No, Lord Mars. Then make sure he gets the mural crown, Mars demanded. My kid here. He yelled at the Legion in case anyone hadn't heard. Frank wanted to melt into the dirt. Emily Zhang's son, Mars continued. She was a good soldier, good woman, and this kid Frank proved his stuff tonight. Happy late birthday, kid. Time you stepped up to a real man's weapon. He tossed Frank his M16. For a split second, Frank thought he'd be crushed under the weight of the massive assault rifle, but the gun changed in midair, becoming smaller and thinner. When Frank caught it, the weapon was a spear. It had a shaft of imperial gold and a strange point like white bone, flickering with ghostly light. The tip is a dragon's tooth, Mars said. You haven't learned how to use your mom's talents yet, have you? Well, that spear will give you some breathing room until you do. You get 3 charges out of it, so use it wisely. Frank didn't understand, but Mars acted like all the matter was closed. Now, my kid Frank Zane is going to lead the quest to free Thanatos, unless there are any objections. Of course, no one said a word, but many of the campers glared at Frank with envy, jealousy, anger, even bitterness. You can take 2 companions, Mars said. Those are the rules. One of them needs to be this kid. He pointed at Percy. He's going to learn some respect for Mars on this trip or die trying. As for the second, I don't care. Pick whomever you want. Have one of your Senate debates. You all are good at those. The god's image flickered. Lightning crackled across the sky. That's my cue, Mars said. Until next time, Romans, do not disappoint me. The god erupted in flames, and then he was gone. Raina turned towards Frank. Her expression was part amusement, part nausea, like she finally managed to swallow that mouse. She raised her arm in a Roman salute. I, Frank Zane, son of Mars. The whole legion followed her lead, but Frank didn't want their attention anymore. His perfect night had been ruined. Mars was his father. The god of war was sending him to Alaska. Frank had been handed more than a spear for his birthday. He'd been handed a death sentence.